Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pam Greenwald. I'm Communications Executive Director for Screen Actors Guild. Happy to see you all here. Let me introduce to you the President of the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, Roberta Reardon, and the President of Screen Actors Guild, Ken Howard.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today on this momentous occasion. We are here to deliver the results of our just completed merger referendum. Roberta, would you please share AFTRA's voting results?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am delighted to report that AFTRA members across the country have approved a merger. With SAG by a margin of 86%. Which easily exceeds the 60% threshold required for passage. Over 37,500 AFTRA members voted, which is a 57% return. A 57% return of all AFTRA ballots mailed. Ken, how did SAG members vote?
Well, interesting you should ask.
I'm curious.
Well, 53% of SAG ballots were returned. That means over 55,000 Screen Actors Guild members, voted nationwide. And I couldn't be more pleased to tell you that 82%... Well, how about that? How about that? Continue celebrating. That's what we're here for. I don't want to... I'm happy to wait on you. Oh my. And so now, before the party begins, let the speeches begin. We'll try to make them succinct and to the point. So here we are, SAG AFTRA is born. The very first thing that I have to do is to thank and congratulate our members. This simply could not have happened without your support. I'm tremendously grateful that you have spoken with such clarity. This is the day we have decisively chosen the path of unity and strength. This is the culmination of years of work, not just of those who were so vital to this particular effort, but of all the dedicated people who have worked toward this goal for decades. To them I say, we stand on your shoulders. When I began as SAG president, I knew I could accomplish more by listening than by speaking or talking a lot. So I listened. And the members made it clear. They wanted merger. They wanted it as soon as possible. And you can bet that you members, that you have been heard today. With this overwhelming vote, you have sent a message not only to all your fellow members, but most important, you have sent a message to our employers. You have said loud and clear, this is not a fractured group. No, this is a united group. This is the largest, most powerful union in the entertainment and media industries, and we are now united in our commitment to improve the wages and working residuals and benefits that our members depend on. We are also committed to helping shape the future of these industries. And with their remarkable vote today, our members have established the foundation for us to do just that. In a single day, our future has become brighter. I want to give extra special thanks to the incredible team that led us here, to all the outstanding G1 members and participants, and of course, our magnificent staff experts. Have all done an invaluable service for our members. I look forward to answering some questions, but for now, I'm going to turn things over to my friend, my esteemed SAG AFTRA co-president, Roberta.
And thank you to all the people on the live. What in time this is. It is the culmination of 2 years of dedication, perseverance, and lots of just plain hard work. Not just on Ken's part and my part, but by our fellow union members from coast to coast, from large market and small town, from all of our various areas of work. Our collective memberships have joined in this historic effort And today, we finally stand together, united as one. Our staff has also dedicated themselves to this effort, and I personally want to thank them for their support, their guidance, and their incredible expertise. This merger is something members of AFTRA and SAG have wanted and worked toward for years, indeed for decades. It is truly exciting because as our industry evolves and changes, we can now meet that challenge and begin to manage that change with a strong collective voice and a unified strategy.
Hear, hear.
This new union will give us the voice and the presence we will need to protect and strengthen our existing contracts in current media and to establish and grow our presence in emerging areas of work so that we can bring all of this under SAG AFTRA contracts, not just here in Los Angeles, not just in New York, but in every area of this country. Finally, we are able to speak with one truly unified voice. And I know that many of our friends in the labor movement across the country are watching us today and joining us in celebrating this moment. I want to speak to you a little bit more about the process and the dedication of the members that brought us to this. Many of them gave up their personal and professional lives to work as the Group for One Union, in which members, through a consensus-building process, were able to create the merger agreement and constitution that has been approved today. The G1 process involved hours upon hours upon hours of video conferences, teleconferences, face-to-face meetings, airplane rides. Through it all, the members worked selflessly, always keeping their eye on the bigger prize, the creation of one new union. And then we have the volunteers.
Yes. As you can see, many of them are right here with us right now. Some of them are outside the building. Many of you are on the live stream, and you are all celebrating your achievement. It is our member volunteers who opened their homes to fellow members, who made hundreds, sometimes thousands of phone calls urging them to vote yes, calling them up saying, come to a meeting if you have questions, and many of them came out, not just to one, but to 2 or 3 meetings in their city. They emailed and blogged and urged members to ask their questions and get their answers. Their work really shows what a labor union is all about, building strength. And because the future is not just here in Los Angeles and not just in New York, but indeed all around the country, we are live streaming today so that our members can share in this moment, a technology, I might add, that was not available or readily available until a few years ago. So welcome to our future. You know, in life, there rarely is reward without risk. Change is always difficult for that reason. What is so overwhelming to me today is the sheer number of members of our unions who took that leap of faith together and voted yes for their future and proved there is power in a union. And now, please welcome one of the 2 people we will all rely on for staff leadership and operational excellence at SAG AFTRA,
co-national executive director, and my personal friend, Kim Roberts-Hedgman.
Thank you, President Reardon, and good afternoon to everyone here in the room and on the live stream. I want to first congratulate the members of AFTRA and SAG around the country on the birth of your new union. This is a historic day not only for our members, but for the American labor movement. This day would not have occurred without the tireless efforts of the elected leaders of both unions, especially your new co-presidents, Roberta Reardon and Ken Howard. This day is also made possible by the work of past leaders of our unions, such as former AFTRA presidents John Connolly and Shelby Scott, who we are pleased to have in the room in Los Angeles. This day is also a tangible demonstration of what is possible when union members, volunteers and activists, elected leaders and rank and file, join together with a common vision of the future and with a collective will and energy to make it happen. Throughout this process, members gave time and energy to move both unions forward. They have inspired and reminded all union members that they can have a voice in their future. The two-year effort to bring these two unions together, particularly during the past several months, was at its core an organizing effort. But now that this merger has been accomplished, the energy, power, and collective will of the membership of SAG AFTRA must move forward to realize the vision that inspired this merger. For the past year, bargaining rights of working men and women have been under siege. But today's vote is a bold statement that union solidarity is alive and well and will not be denied. The men and women whose talents and professionalism fuel the media and entertainment industries, from broadcasters to recording artists to our actors and other performers who entertain and inform America, their overwhelming vote today demonstrates a recognition that our diverse members have more in common than differences and that they are stronger when standing together. Yes. The employees of the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists were honored to have worked beside the men and women who made this day possible. And now we are excited to be part of the SAG AFTRA team. We are committed to redoubling our efforts and take our work on your behalf to the next level to ensure that SAG AFTRA members realize their vision for strong contract negotiations and enforcement, efficient and superior member services, and most important, strategic, focused, and courageous organizing to increase good union job opportunities for SAG AFTRA members nationwide and expand the scope, strength, and viability of professional wages, working conditions, and benefits for the SAG AFTRA members of today as well as of tomorrow. I speak for all your employees in saying that we look forward to starting our new journey with you on Monday morning. Spring break. And I am now especially honored to introduce the co-national executive director of SAG AFTRA, Mr. David P. White.
That's right, Kansas City, for those in the Midwest, that's right. Kim, thank you for the introduction, and thank you for your leadership, your partnership, and just your sheer excellence throughout this process. Thank you for that. Good afternoon, our friends in the media, SAG AFTRA leadership, and the special guests who we have here with us today. And I especially want to thank our members and all of those who are gathered with us via live internet streaming. Thank you for joining us. I just can't tell you how pleased I am to be here at this occasion. And I want to start by thanking the leaders behind me, and our co-presidents, Roberta Reardon and Ken Howard. And it's particularly meaningful because in the room with us, we have an embodiment of the principle that our past is our future, with our former presidents who are here, Bill Shallert, Melissa Gilbert. I thought I saw Melissa here. I don't know if she's still in the room.
She's dancing.
We have two former presidents who sit as trustees of our plans, who are there holding down the fort during meetings. Right now, Barry Gordon and Richard Mazur, the leadership. The leadership of the people in this room who are watching this via live streaming, who are in offices around the nation. I don't think it's possible to understand what they give for free, that they give every day, every week, week in, week out. And as a staff, we simply could not do it without you, and we thank you. It's hard to say. It's hard to say how much. Today we take the first step into a new world and a promising future. When I returned to the Screen Actors Guild in early 2009, I sent a note to the membership that referenced the 1937 story in the Los Angeles Examiner that once hung on the wall of my office when I'd served as general counsel, and now, not so ironically, graces the wall of our current general counsel. That story captured a moment of celebration when members cheered the culmination of an incredible effort to establish an organization that helped them unite and made them stronger by working together. Well, I believe that many years from now, there will be another story on another wall of a future employee of this great successor union. And that story will capture the same evident joy on the faces of the people in this room and across the country. Our members, who I am so pleased to work for and proud to stand with, have reason to be excited. They can stand tall as a united force and as working professionals in the media and entertainment industries, which are growing and changing at lightning speeds. As we all know, these industries provide much more than a product. Movies, television shows, news broadcasts, and sound recordings. These are a vast cultural treasure, offering meaningful and often intimate, personal experiences for millions of people around the world. That the work that our members do reaches beyond any particular moment and serves an essential purpose. Their work expands our understanding of ourselves and of society and strengthens our connection to what's happening outside of our doors and across the globe. And now SAG AFTRA members are at the heart of this, together. As just one representative of the staff team that supports you, I want you to know how proud and excited we are to be a part of this moment. We have great faith in our members. We have great faith in you and in your collective power, and we are tremendously excited to commence the work of building this new union. We begin with a formidable foundation, the great traditions of both AFTRA and Screen Actors Guild, and while leading a great enterprise through periods of dramatic change is never easy. We commit to you that we will strive for excellence in our day-to-day management of SAG AFTRA's operations. We will have as our goal every day excellent member services and effective relationships with our sister unions and our industry partners. You have a great team of talented and committed individuals who are working for you, and we will work every day to make it easier for you, our members, to build a sustainable, professional life in this business. We are all honored to undertake this effort on behalf of our members. And to my colleagues and partners here at the podium, and to the staff of SAG AFTRA, I thank you for your hard work, your talent, and your continued dedication to excellence on behalf of my members. Truly, I am proud and grateful to be with you here today. Thank you.
Hello. I'm a pretty happy Pam Greenwald. I am also the Assistant National Executive Director in charge of communications for SAG AFTRA. It's the first time I've ever said that. Thank you for being here. We have some press materials for you to grab on your way out, a press kit and some other things. See Donna or Kristen before you go. But right now we're going to take some questions. So anybody have a question? Jonathan. Jonathan Handel with Hollywood Reporter.
For whoever hears the answer to this, and I know Pam played an integral part, but of course the entire team did, which is the vote count on the SAG side really was surprisingly high. The turnout was similar to 2003, 55%, 54%, whatever, but last time the vote was 58%. Ken, you won with 75%, just about 5 or 6 months ago. What counts on the much larger vote for SAG? Is it expected by most people?
Hi, Jonathan. So I would have calculated it a little differently. Remember the contract vote in 2009, where we thought that that was going to be a very close to 50% mark. People wondered whether or not that would pass, and it turned out to be 78%. And that was also a high vote for a contract referendum. So if I had handicapped this, I would have started at 78. I think when you add that and the direct and immediate impact that members have felt as a result of the split that became particularly acute after primetime began to shift to AFTRA, and so now primetime is for both organizations. I think members really responded to that, and I think it helped bring home what the future would look like if we were divided, and I think the members decided that they didn't like that future, and they preferred to be united.
Does that mean that the folks that opposed merger, who were the folks who helped drive that division, deserve perhaps a
My answer to that is we have always had, this is actually an important point, we have always had and we always will have a robust democracy where members have the right to express their opinion, and that's what they were doing, and we respect that fact.
Great. Right here, please. I got
specifics on the vote, but I know this has been going on for some time. What was the shift? What was really, in your opinion, the pivotal point where people thought, we better get this thing going and we better get it going now?
Well, I'm sure that there are many, each of us has an answer to that, but I think all of us agree the industry shifted. And one of the shifts it made was to digital production. And because of digital production, contracts shifted between the two unions. And we've been talking about this for a long time. It's not just the shift in primetime television, but it's in cable, it's in new media. There's an explosion of platforms. And members began to understand that they needed to be together in a union rather than separated into two, because separated into two wasn't working out so well.
You also suppose that, collectively now across the country, unions are taking a hit.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. Labor's taking a
Yeah.
hit. Do you suppose it was also sort of kind of a protection for the future? They figured one union's better than two, I guess, in the
There's
same
no
industry?
question that watching what happened to public employees in Wisconsin and in other states across the country, what do you think, folks? Did that influence you? Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you're a joint member, your dues are going down.
Anyone else? Questions? Oh, Dave McNary.
Oh, thank you. Good Lord. Dave McNary with Variety. I'm curious if the logo that's in back of you guys is going to be the new logo of the SAG AFTRA, or has that been decided yet?
Dave, you don't ask questions of the PR person at the press conference. The SAG AFTRA One Union logo was developed for the education outreach effort over the past couple of months, and it is the transitional logo for the short term.
The second question, follow-up question, is when any idea when the first elections are going to be?
It will be late spring, early summer of next year.
Anybody else?
Hey, Bob Strauss from the LA Daily News. So, following up on Dave's question, the new union is going to be called SAG-AFTRA?
Yes?
Okay.
You never say the dash.
I will not.
Thank you.
Bill newspaper guy, I gotta get it right in print. And there was a little too much yelling when Ms. Reardon announced the percentage. It was 80 what?
86% in AFTRA.
Dominic Patton from Deadline. I have a question.
No, you do, because you're on the live stream.
I have a question in regards to some of the people who did not agree with the union becoming one. What would you say, Ken and Roberta, to people like Martin Sheen and Ed Harris who had concerns now that it has passed?
I think that I'm certainly going to hand this off to my fellow president, but I encourage them to stay involved and come in. You know, it's a big tent, and it's like any democracy. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but this is an important moment for all of us, and I encourage them to stay in touch and stay involved.
Ditto. Come join us. Ditto. Absolutely.
Any other questions? Yes. KPCC.
Some of the concern of the opponents was around the health and pension benefits. Do you want to speak to any of that? Are health and pension benefits going to be stronger as one union or diluted?
Sure. Can I just...
Please, that's right. There you go.
First of all, just a moment of logic. What do you think the answer is going to be? I think it will be much stronger over time and have a great deal of reason to believe that. I think a lot of people, one of the things that helped us greatly was we were able to dispel a lot of misinformation, a lot of misunderstanding that had gotten out there in the ether. One example, for example, probably the simplest example, is that vested pensions are your vested pensions are protected by federal law, period. There is no other way. So the whole notion of you're going to lose your pension once they merge just isn't true. It's not a matter of opinion. And there are many other areas. Now, projecting the future, what's going to happen, I believe that whatever issues we face in terms of the economy, in terms of various numbers that change over which we can't control, in every instance that I know of, we are better off and stronger as a merged union in dealing with this future as it changes than we were at being divided. So the answer is a resounding, no, it won't dilute it, yes, it will strengthen, but you would expect that, wouldn't you? Because it would be strange to have the other answer for you. It wouldn't make sense. Anyway.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Yes, in the back.
Now member together. I joined the union in 1987, and I'm now proud of the unity of both parties. I am humbled by this day, and forever will remember this, traveling 3,000 miles from Baltimore to be here tonight. So, as a proud SAG AFTRA member, what is our new unified, strong, vital union's message to producers, Unified Studios today?
We are one voice. We are all about organizing. We are going to organize not just in the major cities, but in every city in this country. And we're ready to talk when they are.
Thank you so much.
Aye, any other questions? Yes. Jonathan first, then Dave. Oh, I'm sorry, Leslie. I didn't realize you had the mic. Sorry about that, Dave. I saw the hand first.
David, you mentioned that a couple of board members weren't here because they're also pension and health plan trustees in our meeting now. Is that the SAG plan and the AFTRA? Well, the current so-called SAG producers pension and health plan and also at AFTRA?
No,
just at SAG. And are they meeting at this point to start discussing what to do next?
Regularly scheduled pension and health meeting, and the trustees are there, but for those who are here in this room, we had a little something that we wanted to take care of this afternoon, but they're there, and now with this moment, the trustees of the pension and health plans will most certainly begin the process of thinking about next steps.
Yeah, I'd like to follow up on that answer, David. I mean, what kind of time frame would you estimate at this point for the possible merger of the SAG and AFTRA plans?
I love a good reporter. I think that today we're focused on celebrating the merger of the unions. And for dealing with the plans and really so many other issues that face us as a united force, we're going to begin that process. But we don't have much more to say about it at this time.